Good morning, everybody. Today we're going to be talking about tips on bringing fun back into your marriage. Dr. Kim, do you just kind of opening up? What are some good tips that we can do to bring fun back into our marriage?
Yeah, it's interesting how many couples seem to lose that through
Yeah,
their marriage. I think most couples had to have fun before they got married, or they probably wouldn't got married. And I think, maybe they do early in marriage. Then kids come and you get the distractions that we talk about all the time, and that fun goes out. And I think fun is an important part of marriage. So when a couple comes in and they've just kind of lost that, one thing I ask them is, I'll say, "What'd you do before? Before you were married, what'd you guys do for fun?" And then I'll say, "Would you like to do that again?" or something like that, and just kind of get them to thinking along that line. So a good start is, what you do, what you used to do that you miss now, or that you enjoyed then that you think you might enjoy now, or maybe you've got some friends that are doing something for fun, and you guys are, maybe one of you were talking to the husband or wife, or talking to them together, and you thought, well, that's cool.
yeah,
And so just getting some ideas and getting it started. I think it's getting that jump start that's always the hard thing. I think once couples get back into that and realize how much fun it is, I think it's easier to make it a priority. But most people have so many distractions in your life. It sounds good to have fun together, but another week goes by and you haven't. So you got to be intentional about it.
yeah. So I have a couple questions about that. So what if, obviously, when people got married, they didn't have any kids. So what if they have kids now? Do they bring their kids and have fun together, or do they leave their kids at home and kind of have a date night?
I think you do both. I think you do family stuff, but I think it's so essential for a couple to have just the date night, just the two of them. And nights when there's not even other friends there, where it's just the two of you, whether you go to dinner together or just go for a long walk together or exploring or something where it's just the two of you. You can interact and can talk, just like you did in your dating. I mean, you didn't take an army with you when you're dating, most likely, and so getting back to just having fun together. And so yeah, I mean, like, and I think that's hard for some couples. They think, well, we hate to leave the kids with the babysitter, but really, they need to see you date. They need to see you have fun together. So you look at it the way that you're modeling that for your kids. And I think when you have a baby, I mean, I think sometimes that's hard, especially in the early weeks or months, and you don't. Oh, do we want a babysitter? Blah blah blah. In those times, I would say plan something at home. We've got some great date night design stuff on Awesome Marriage website on the resources. Do something that you can do at home and to have fun. And so you don't always have to go out to have fun. You can sometimes, Nancy, I'll just sit and watch funny YouTube videos and just laugh, and that's fun. So a lot of ways to do it. It's just being intentional about taking the time, setting aside, and doing it.
No, absolutely. And I saw something earlier, and you actually always say this too, a happy marriage equals a happy home. So just
Yeah.
like watching, your parents be happy and think positively, that makes you, grow up to like want to do good things and be a good person, just seeing that, every single day.
Absolutely. I think it gives our kids security when they see that mom and dad have fun together, and like, they have friends that are divorced, and some of you listening, I know you're divorced, and that's a whole different subject than what we're talking about today. But those kids, it gives them security seeing their parents enjoy each other and all those kind of things.
Yeah, absolutely. And you said, obviously, this doesn't have to be like like an entire day. We can spend 30 minutes or an
Yeah.
hour watching YouTube videos, or we can spend 30 minutes going on a walk, or we can spend, a couple hours watching a movie. This does not have to be an all day thing.
Right, right. And you can take up, maybe a lot of couples, they'll have them just write down on slips of paper 4 or 5 things they'd like to do to have fun together. And then each week they draw one out, and then
That's a
they
good
do
idea.
that. Just getting the pattern of it, where, we got some friends, and they, one of their deals is, if a new restaurant opens, they do everything they can to get there before anybody else does. And so they're always looking for new restaurants open, and they've gained about 100 pounds this year. But, other than that,
They're
they're,
happy though.
they're,
They're
they're
having fun in
they're
their
so
marriage.
happy as they roll around. Yes, poor
That's
people.
good. Good for them.
Yeah.
So, what if my spouse is just so exhausted from work every single day and they don't want to do anything? How can I motivate them to get up and to go out with me and to have fun with me?
I think conversation, and I think preparing ahead of time. Don't just walk in when they're exhausted and say, "Come on, we're gonna go have some fun."
Yeah.
But maybe it's like it's on Sunday, and you sit down and say, "Hey, we have just, I was listening to this deal that Dr. Kim and Lara did, and they were talking about having fun, and we just haven't had fun. And so, what about Saturday? Let's just set aside a time just for both of us to have fun." Well, I think if you do it way ahead of time, then there's a good chance they're going to say yes. I think and they still may be tired on Saturday, and they may still not be all excited when they go. But I think once they begin to do that, they're going to have fun
Okay.
doing it.
Okay. So you're saying that scheduling in advance is a positive. You would
I
recommend doing
think it is. I
that? Okay.
think it is. And if there is something impulsive that you both want to do, great. But I think start to break those patterns of not doing anything, you got to be intentional.
Yeah. Did you and Nancy ever go through a period where you guys just didn't really wanna do anything, or you were just, not in the best place in your marriage and you would rather stay home and be alone, or you would rather, just kind of, like, not really do anything?
I think we kind of got into that after both the kids were born, maybe a little bit, because we did a really good job of having date nights most all the way through our marriage. And so I think that we committed to that, and we had a babysitter. I think Grant's first babysitter was when he was 3 weeks old. And so, we did that pretty well. I think the other things, though, I think sometimes if you're having conflict or things that are unresolved, then it's easy to say just kind of pass on those dates or those fun because you're not sure how it's going to go.
Yeah.
And that's another thing I tell couples is like if I'm counseling couples who are dealing with some issues, and when you set your date night, when you set your time to go have fun, do not talk about the problems that they're off limits. You don't talk about anything controversial. The idea is to get you guys realizing why you got married in the first place, because
Yeah.
one of the reasons was you had fun together. And so don't drag those conversations into a date night.
Yeah, I think that's so good. Did you ever have to kind of bargain with Nancy to get her to do something that you wanted to do?
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah,
all
okay.
the
It's okay to do that. If our spouse is
time.
like, "I don't wanna go play pickleball," you can kind of bargain with them a little bit. It's okay to do that.
Yeah, if you well, and what we did early in marriage before we had kids, we had a really good hockey team in Oklahoma City that I loved going to, and she would go some, but I wanted to go to every single game. And so
Yeah,
we made a compromise, and she wanted to go to the ballet. And I thought, okay, I'll go to the ballet with you, ballet deals if you'll go to a hockey game with me. So we made a compromise there, and it worked for both of us. And I think one of the things I learned out of that, I was just writing some stuff about this, is that I learned that watching her enjoy something brought joy to me too. I mean, I would have never picked, I would never gone to ballet by myself. I
yeah,
mean, I just wouldn't have. But watching her enjoy it and kind of learning about it, I got to, well, yeah, I can do this. This is not a bad deal at all. And I think she did the same for me, with hockey. And then now with the Thunder basketball in Oklahoma City, we both love that. So that's something we've both been able to be passionate about, joy together.
yeah, and you guys also started hiking, right, during COVID?
Yeah. Yeah, we've done that. We've done so much since the
Yeah,
last year, just hiking and playing pickleball, and I've made taking guitar lessons and
and I
all
think that's
kinds of good
important to
stuff.
remember just right now, especially with COVID kind of making its, another big wave, and even just being on a tight budget and not wanting to go out and spend a lot of money, there are so many things that you can do and not spend money on, you know?
Absolutely.
And I think that that's so important to remember, and I think that people, when they think of going out on dates or doing something fun, they think of, "Oh, we have to spend, $50," and that's not true at all.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I actually Googled some things that would be fun to do that are not super expensive and something that you
Cool.
do together exercise. So just kind of like you and Nancy taking up hiking, something that you guys
Yeah.
both really enjoyed doing and you had a lot of fun doing together. You can read, you can listen to a podcast together, you could watch TV or a movie. You can go, like you said, kind of go to a restaurant off a beaten path. That would be fun and interesting. Um, you could rewrite your vows. There are just so many things that you can do that you don't have to spend a lot of money on. So if money is an issue and you guys are on a tight budget, or you don't want to even go out of your house due to COVID, you can do so many things.
Yeah,
And like
absolutely.
you said, Dr. Kim, we have so many resources on the Awesome Marriage website.
We do. We have so many good things. And if you just go to marriage.com and click on the resource tab, and you'll see things as they drop down, and find something there that looks good to you that you can use together. And, people one of the things people seem to like about the date night, date designs are the questions where couples can
Yeah.
just interact with each other, because a lot of having fun together is interacting, communicating, and just really enjoying the person that you married.
Yeah. And I have one more question before we have to go. If you had to pick your all-time favorite date or just having fun with Nancy, what do you think it would be? I know that that's a tough question.
That is, honestly, I mean, it's new, is playing pickleball together. It's the first sport we've ever really been able to do together
Yeah.
and not kill each other. And so we play pretty good together and we enjoy it. And so that's been really fun because it's something that we really do together. I think I mentioned Thunder basketball. That's something that when we first had a team, she wasn't really sure. First year, she fell in love with it. And so that was something we could do together. If she hadn't, I don't know what we've done, but we try to always try to those big things like that for both of us to want to do it.
Yeah, and that's so important.
Yeah,
Well, that is all the
it
time that
is.
we have for today. If you guys have any questions for us, please feel free to drop it in the comment section below or send us a direct message. And we hope that you guys have a great rest of your week.
See you guys next week.